Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Open! Chicago with the lead! Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, man. Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. Like that page, and not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. But also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, listen. And if you didn't know we had a mobile app, come on, man, wake up, baby, wake up. We have our own mobile app. So listen, wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon or Walmart or Kmart or 7-Eleven or Zayres, Macy's, Montgomery Ward's, Weebolt's, Venture, Woolworth, Gold Blast. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles. Thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, you're watching this on a Roku channel. I like that kind of party, baby. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your television. Put it there next to all the big boys. Netflix, Hulu, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Prime, Stars, Paramount Plus. Put it right there next to all the big boys. And man, the last episode of Power Book 2 is Friday. Crazy. But I digress. Put it there. Check us out on the big screen. Hell, run the big screen, right? Mickey, Vicky, now. You can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, the THI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. You want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. All right. Now, we have a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat, because the chat is jumping already this morning. Lord have mercy. I like this kind of party. My man Cornelius Squalls in the house. What up? What up? What up, sports zoners? Cornelius Squalls, baby. Thank you for tuning in. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. He's in the house. Mr. Shorty is in the house. Shorty, what's up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Michelle Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. Well, he says, what's up on a hump day, sports zoners? Yes. Off the Dub is in the house. What's up, Bear Down, baby? We starting to look good. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It just takes time. That's all. It takes time. King Booker World in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. To salute chat and Shawn. My man Brandon Schutz in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. That I know. Man, we had a good show. We got a great show today. And listen, here's what we have a lot to talk. We have a lot to talk about. And I'm looking forward to it. We got a little bit of Sox, very little. Got some Cubs. Got some Blackhawks. We got some Bulls. You see, I'm rocking my Bulls hat again, baby. I'm back. All right. And of course, we got some Bears. So we have a lot to talk. We're going to get into it. And, I'm really. This should be the fun time for Chicago sports. Okay. This should be the time where all of our teams are playing. Okay. This should be it. Our Chicago Sky. Our Chicago Sky should be in the playoffs. All right. Our baseball team should be in the playoffs. Or at least the Cubs should have been in the playoffs. White Sox. I'm just saying in general, generally speaking. Generally speaking. Huh. But we should have baseball going. We should have basketball and hockey kicking off. All right. We have the Bears in full swing, week number 5. All right. So, unfortunately, the baseball team didn't get the memo. They didn't get the memo, so they're not playing. Our Sky, man, that's just crazy. Sky missed the playoffs. They didn't have much of a shot, not without Angel Reese gone for the whole season. King Booker World said, I was just on the cesspool of a chat on ESPN Chicago, and some Bears fans make me sick. Yeah, easy part of King Booker World. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you want to go and you want to be entertained, and you don't just want the negative bullshit that people always want to kick. All right, we don't want that. And I get it. Everyone has an opinion, but everyone's opinion is not even informed. That's the problem. That's the problem. And then you get people talking on the radio without informed opinions. I'm talking callers and hosts alike. But in this case, when fans come up and just say the dumbest stuff. Well, no, you know what? He had a bad game. Trade him. Really? After one game? Trade him? After one game, trade him. or bench him or this. It's like you can tell. You can tell who's never played sports before, who's never been in organized sports. You can tell. These people come up with dumb stuff, and people want to say stupid things just to be contrarian, just to be negative Nancy, because they know it gets in. They become engaging to other people, because people say it jumps in. You're crazy, blah blah. And here's the thing: people don't understand the ability to argue and disagree or debate a topic without calling people names nowadays. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. People don't know how to have a discussion without name calling. If you don't agree with their point, you're stupid, you're a clown, GFY, all these things. If you don't agree with their point, you're like, we see things differently. So yeah, it's unfortunate. And people just want to think they're funny, and they're not. I hate to break it to them. And you just hope that sometimes people will just want to have some positivity in their life. And when you see people who complain all the time, you understand they're at a spot in their life where they're not happy. What are you saying, King Book of World? Yeah, those are the Bayesian fans for that. Those are the Bayesian fans that, for the life of me, I don't understand the love that he gets. Only in Chicago we crave for the backup quarterback. Well, Bayesian is good. He's a great backup quarterback. But if you heard, I mean, he's nowhere near as good as Caleb. But the thing that Bayesian is good at, he's a great game manager. You think about all the reps that he had in college. I think he had 2,000 dropbacks in college. Think about that. 2,000 dropbacks. 2,000. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's 500 dropbacks a year. That's a lot. So you think about it, you play 11, 12 games, you're dropping back 40 something times a game. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think he's a great backup. I like his story. His dad's a character, but no, definitely not better than Caleb. And people just say stuff. People just say stuff just to be stupid. Just to be stupid. Just to reinforce the fact that they're stupid. Like, listen, we all know people that are stupid. We do, don't we? We all know people that are stupid. That could be in our own family. Lord knows. Lord knows. But people say things just to be stupid. I'll tell you. King Book of World says they hang their hats on the damn 4 games where he went 2 for 2, 2 and 2, 3 tutties, 6 ints, 6 picks. What do they see? And I see a good backup. Yeah, he's a good backup. He is a good backup, and that's all it is. But yeah. Anyway, so yesterday was this weekend. It's kind of, I know this is off sports a little bit. But there was One of the things that was interesting was people are talking about all these. I shouldn't say this. There's a whole bunch of people now that are passing. A little off sports, but it was frustrating. James Earl Jones died. John Amos died, and then they're saying he died back in August or March or whatever the heck they're saying. I don't remember what they were talking about. Yeah, he did die in August. For some reason, that came back up. But then you got Dikembe Mutombo. And unfortunately, Charlie Hustle. P. Rose. Now, I'm not sure where you stand on the whole Pete Rose thing. All right, he bet on baseball, and that was wrong. The Major League Baseball leader in hits. The dude was amazing. If you ever saw that conversation, that video was on Fox, where him, Frank Thomas, and Alex Rodriguez were having a conversation. Frank Thomas put it best. He goes, "This is church." He goes, "This is church." Like to see three of the best hitters ever. Three of the best hitters ever in the history of Major League Baseball. One of them being the all-time leader in hits, speaking, and he's giving these youngsters, and they're not young because they're retired at this point as well, but having that conversation with them was church. If you're a young hitter, I highly suggest that you watch that. Just go look up Pete Rose, Frank Thomas, A-Rod conversation. YouTube it. Google it. They'll bring it up. And he talks about hitting. Just hitting. What made him such a great hitter. All right, what he did. And the thing that it goes back to is fundamentals. Everything goes to the fundamentals. Everything goes to your daily habits. And that whole situation with Pete Rose, A-Rod, and the Big Hurt, that whole conversation was priceless. Priceless. Just talking about what he did whenever he's in a slump. All right. It was probably one of the best baseball conversations, if not the best baseball conversation that I've ever seen. Yeah, Shawn. A lot happened in the last few days with celebrity and sports figure deaths. Yes. Yeah. And King Booker World said that man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. If that piece of crap Ty Cobb can be in there, there's no question about Rose. Yeah, I hear you. It's just, he broke a rule. And now for whatever reason, baseball decides to. I mean, they have that right. They have that right. Okay, he did break a rule, and that sucks. But I don't know. It's as you get older, and Junior and I have had this conversation many times. As you get older, it stinks. You know you're getting older when a lot of the people that you looked up to or rooted for or watched or supported are passing away. That's how you know you're getting older. And the one thing about time and tide wait for no man. And You know, when it's time, when it's your time, it's your time. You know, and it sucks. And it sucks. Who said that? Was that Chaucer? So it says Geoffrey Chaucer. Okay. Time and tide wait for no man. Yeah, Junior, you're right. And also your former teammates pass away. Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. Mr. Shorty says such BS. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And it's tough. I don't know which. Some people are. And here's why. Let me say this. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and here's why. In a country of second chances, okay? In a country of second chances, why Major League Baseball is standing firm on this, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know, I don't know if I'll ever know. When you can get chance after chance after chance, time after time. Hell, you get to live your life even after you commit a crime. You go to jail, you serve your time, cool. I think he served his time. I think him not being in the Hall of Fame was sentence and punishment enough to this point. So I think that he should have been in the Hall of Fame. He didn't get a second chance. And why? You know, because there's so many people here, especially these altruistic, holier than thou people, ever notice when people are part of an organization, they feel being part of that organization makes them feel that they're more important than they really are. Okay, you see it at churches all the time. I've seen it. Like I've met so many people. Like I'll never forget. I met a lady who at one of the churches that I used to go to, and she would read she wouldn't have the first reading all the time. Sometimes she would, but she would do all the intentions and stuff like that. And oh my gosh, she just thought her shit didn't stink. She was holier than thou. I'm like, you just read. Like, you do realize that they can replace you in a heartbeat. Like, you're not the only person who can read. There's a lot of other people who pass hooked on phonics too, lady. But it's funny how that association with something gives you a bigger sense of value of yourself than there really is. And I think that, I just think he should be in the Hall of Fame. Cornelia says, if the Hall of Fame is based on achievement in the game and personal life, then there are a lot of people who wouldn't be there. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but personal life, his was a rule. If you listen to AJ Przinsky, he doesn't think Pete Rose should be in. He talks about, So it's interesting. We'll talk a little more about that as the show goes on. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. All right. Excuse me. On the other side of the break, we are going to get to the top of the morning topics. All right. So don't go anywhere, folks. Right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Everyone always thinks it's just about the money, but you were showing this last night at dinner. I thought it was so cool. It's how you made your choice.
So I brought these. I saw them at the house, and I said, I'm bringing these to show KB. And there was a lot of reasons to choose Tampa, and I made about 18 criteria why. And there was things all the way from a salary, obviously, to the weather, to the facilities, to how great the players were. And ultimately, Chicago was a team, and I've never told that story before. They were very stealth in their recruitment. I was seriously considering, but in the end, It came down to Tampa.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. A clip courtesy of Fox. That was Tom Brady the other day talking about Chicago was in the running. They were very stealth in their recruitment. How crazy would that have been? I somehow don't think Chicago, everyone is looking to jump at like, oh my God, Tom Brady. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he wanted to stay in a situation where the weather was where it was the same, where it was similar to that of New England. That's what I think. All right. And then we didn't have really good players here. Okay. I just think that people heard that and ran with. He mentioned Chicago. See, the one thing he said was Chicago was stealth in their recruitment. He didn't say I was considering Chicago. All right. He didn't say I was considering. He just said they were stealth in their recruitment. All right. Sometimes people hear what they want to hear instead of hearing what's actually said. Well, King Booker World, what do you call bullshit on? See, Brady didn't claim he almost went to Chicago. He claimed that they were stealth in their recruitment. And everybody's like, oh, he almost came here. So, yeah, I just don't think he wanted to play in a climate that was similar to what he played in New England. I just thought he wanted to play in a much warmer climate or a dome or something like that. Which, after all those years, and you're a free agent, and you've won 6 Super Bowls, you can make that decision. You have that right. But anyway, it would have been great to see Brady in a Bears uniform. What other wide receivers would they have gotten for him is the question. Would they have brought Antonio Brown to Chicago? Lord have mercy. That would have been nuts. That would have been nuts. That would have been crazy. But anyway, let's get right to it, guys. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first top of the morning topic. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. The Blackhawks, baby. The Blackhawks fall to the Minnesota Wild yesterday. 7. Ouch. 7-2. That hurt. Drew Comesto, he's the goalie. He stopped 35 of 42 shots. Dickinson scored his first goal of the preseason. Connor Bedard also lit the lamp for the first time. Andrew Jones and Nick Foligno each assisted. Those assists were on Dickinson's goal. Connor Bedard's was a power play unassisted goal. Let me tell you, Connor Bedard, you could tell he's stronger. You could tell he's found the weight room, and he's not going to be a big muscle-bound goon or freak or anything like that. No, he's not. He's gonna get to the point where he's gonna be strong enough to sustain a whole NHL season, and he's gonna have to maintain throughout the season, of course. And where he's not gonna be pushed around. Yesterday there was some dude hit him kind of hard, and he checked him. He was pissed, and he checked him, and the dude just kind of muffed him because the dude was like 6'4". He was real tall. But the thing I liked about it was his passion. He wasn't backing down. And we've had superstars here in Chicago who were very feisty. If you remember Michael Jordan, okay? You remember Michael Jordan in those years with the Pistons, and you know, and when him and Reggie got into it, Reggie Miller, all right, or even him and God rest his soul, what was it? Anthony Mason. All right. He didn't back down at all. Anthony Mason was a big dude, if you remember. All right. And I like that. I like it because of two things. One, it shows that our superstar is not a little sissy. Okay. It shows that he's feisty. It shows that he's willing to compete. And two, the reason why I love it, it shows his teammates that. And if his teammates say, and if you're the best guy on the team and you're willing to stand up and get in someone's face and not taking shit from anybody, then you have to fall in line. You got to fall in line, because if our superstars is fighting back, we have to fight back as well. And that sets a beautiful, beautiful tone. And I loved it. I loved it. This kid is going to be. Not going to be. He is special. He's going to get even better as his career moves on. Which is why I'm telling you, if you get a chance, get down to the stadium. All right, the UC. Check out a Blackhawks game, because this guy is worth the price of admission. When I went to go see him their first preseason game last year, Jason and I went down there. Man, he was on the ice like 30 seconds. They had a rush. He got the ball. He got the puck. Man, that wrist shot that he flung at the net was something. It was a shot that it showed, one, I'm not scared. I'm not scared at this level. And I was like, I looked at Jason. Jason looked at me. We're like, damn, he came out shooting. This team's going to be really good. Give them 2 more years, and they're going to be really, really good. and people are going to compare him to Kane. I get it. Kane's third year, he won the Stanley Cup. I don't think that Connor Bedard or this Blackhawk team is ready yet for that. Okay, so let's not put those comparisons. We haven't got a Jonathan Toews, okay, like Kane had. Another young captain type player who can do everything, playing both sides of the ice. But this team's going to be fun. This team is going to be really, really, really good. Oh man, Jay Grizz checking in. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Salute to SuperBack, Sports Zone Networks, and all your folks in the chat. Yes, Jay Grizz is in the house. Plank is in the house. What's up, Papa? Plank? How you doing, baby? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Ann Moss is in the house. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Patty's checked in. Good morning. Monica's checked in. Good morning. Jeremiah. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. King Booker World says, might actually check out a few Blackhawk games this year. I suggest you do. All right. It's going to be, it's worth it. It is worth it. Let me tell you. Mr. Shorty said, wait, what happened with Brady? I stepped away for a minute. We were just talking. I just played the clip where he talked about where he said Chicago was stealth in their recruiting. Basically, they were under the radar, and people ran with it. Said, "Oh, Brady almost came to Chicago," and I was saying, "No, I don't think so. I don't think Chicago was really on his choice. I don't think he wanted. I think the biggest two things were the talent level that we had here, and plus the weather. I don't think he wanted to play in that type of similar weather that he just came from. So that's what you missed, Shorty. That's all. That's all. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. But anyway. Comment. Let's see. The next top of the morning topic. The Cubs, Jed Hoyer had a season-ending press conference yesterday at Wrigley. And yeah, he took accountability. He talked about, 283 and what? 85 and something seasons in a row, identical seasons in a row. That's 83 win teams, consecutive 80. Here's what he said. And this is according to Steve Greenberg in the Chicago Sun-Times. He said, this is Jed Hoyer, quote, the last two seasons haven't ended in the postseason. Obviously, I have to take accountability for that. Consecutive 83 win teams, we have to push beyond that. But in terms of the positioning this organization for success next year and success in the future, I feel great about where we are as an organization. I think the fans should feel good about it too, unquote. I don't know. How do you feel, Cub fans? How do you feel? This is your squad. This is your, all right, this is the team you root for. Jay Grizz says, Hoyer said, at least we had a better year than the White Sox. Everybody and their mama had a better year than the White Sox. That's not saying much. But what do you think? It was a disappointment. And if it wasn't for the White Sox, the Cubs would be getting a hell of a lot more shit a lot more grief than they're getting. Let's keep it a buck. If it wasn't for the White Sox and their horrendous season, there would be a lot more scrutiny, a lot more vitriol aimed at the Cubs. Okay? So you're welcome, Cub fans and Chicago Cubs. All right, we took a lot of the heat off you. Like Bobby Knight used to take all the pressure and the heat and the discussion off his Indiana teams, University of Indiana, Indiana University basketball teams. That's what the White Sox did. They took all the things off of, all the pressure off of the Cubs. King Booker World, you were in line. Park Districts had a better year than my Sox. You got to laugh. And then, you know what they did? They decided at least tie them. Like, don't be the worst. I know King Booker World, you're like, man. You're like, be the worst. But I'm like, they won 5 of their last 6 games. They swept the Angels when I was there. The last home game of the season. Then they go to Detroit. They lose the first one. It takes all the excitement out of it. Then they win the next 2. They win the series. I'm like, come on, man. Poor kid, you're talking about Connor Bedard and his broken jaw last year. Yeah. But there's a thing. Like Jed Hoyer, his biggest thing right now, you know, general managers have a thing. There's always their legacy. It's going to be tied to a couple of players and the direction that those players go. I think Jed's legacy is tied to Craig Counsell. I don't think it's tied to players right now. All right, you signed the best manager that you thought that was out there. That was common knowledge. You signed him for $8 million a year. Crazy numbers. I mean, that was for 5 years, $40 million for this guy. And you don't do any better than last year. You bring back most of the same squad. You re-sign Belger, got him a deal, 30, 20, $30 million this year, $30 million next year, 20 the following year with opt-outs after the first 2 years. Player options, I should say. You had Swanson. Still had Happ. But now you go and get this guy and say, this is the missing piece. And I'll say it again, coaching matters. And you felt that this was the guy, this was the coach, the manager that was going to take them to the next level. And let's not forget, you stole them or you got them from the team that was winning your division, the Brewers. So you looked at it this way, and many Cub fans did the same. Not only did you strengthen your team, not only did you strengthen the Cubs with a better manager that you felt, but you also weakened the best team in the division. So if that was the case, this year has to be looked at as a failure because they're back in the playoffs, the Brewers. Obviously, they didn't need their manager. And the Cubs are on the outside looking in again. So I like that. Well, I can't say that. I was going to say I like the fact that he came out to talk and ours didn't. But Chris Getz. Actually, we didn't hear from Getz. Our manager, our owner releases a statement. And here's the thing that bugs me. You know, we get access to the general managers and the coaches, the people who make the decisions. But Jerry, you're making decisions for the White Sox and the Bulls. Specifically for the White Sox, since we're talking baseball right now. Why don't we get access to you? Why don't you come and talk to the fans since you make moves that affect this team? Why don't you sit down and talk? So here's another question I have. And I know it was started with the Cubs. Is there going to be a Sox Fest this year? Or are you still too cowardly? Are you still too much of a coward to face the fans and the media? Because the Cubs are already talking about the Cubs convention. They're already talking about it. I saw advertisements for it. Get the package and stay at the hotel, the whole weekend. So they're already talking about Cubs convention. Is there going to be a Sox Fest? Or are you still scared? Are you scared that people are going to rip Chris Getz a new one? Because they will. They will rip Chris Getz a new one. They will. And you can't be in a panel because Sox fans will rip the hell out of you. And what are you going to do? Get them out of here? People will waste a couple $100 for that Sox Fest just to be able to tell you to go to GFY. Believe you me, Sox fans will do that. If they got a chance to tell you to go fuck yourself for what you did to their favorite baseball team, they will. If it costs them a couple $100 for the weekend or a couple $1,000, some people will do it. Which is why I asked the question, is there going to be a Sox Fest this year? I don't know. I don't know. Because I know Sox fans want one. And here's another thing. Why don't you give the fans what they want? Because you're scared. You're a coward. That's the issue. You're a coward. But I digress. We were talking about Jed, season-ending in press conference yesterday at Wrigley. Took accountability. But how much longer does he have? Who's going to be here longer, Jed or Craig Counsell? I mean, because back-to-back 83-win seasons, that's not going to get it done. You can't do that. Not with the things you acquired. You re-signed Belly. You still had Swanson. All right, the manager, you got the whole nine. You're anticipated to do better, and you don't. So how much time before Jed's seat starts to get hot? How much time? We'll see. Something has to be better next year, though, for the Cubs. They have to. They have to be better. Moving on to the next top of the morning topic. I know you guys are going to love this. The Bulls are going to honor Derrick Rose on January 4th in a game against the New York Knicks. A jersey retirement is in play. They haven't. It has not confirmed, so don't go on and say, "Oh, I heard it on Sports Zone Chicago." I'm not saying that. I'm saying jersey retirement is in play, and this is according to Shams Charania. They could retire his jersey. They may. I don't know if they will. Once we get that confirmed, I will let you know. But the Bulls this is confirmed. The Bulls are going to honor Derrick Rose January 4th when the Bulls play the Knicks. That, my people, will be the hottest ticket in town. That will be the hottest ticket in town. And unfortunately, unlike the stadium on the lakefront, unlike Soldier Field, you could only fit 20,000 people in the United Center. Only 20,000 people will be able to check it out. You know, to me, Derrick Rose was exactly what this city needed, and I think the NBA knew that, which is why I personally think they fixed the lottery and said get Derrick Rose. It's all about money. All right, it's all about money. Let's keep it real. They felt Derrick Rose was going to be a star. He got star treatment. Okay, but what did it do to this city? People saw how crazy. I was trying to think of a better word. How passionate and crazy this town was with Michael. Okay. And you got to remember, it's about money. And so when Chicago, your third largest market, isn't really into basketball anymore, it hurts the bottom line. It hurts the bottom line. People want to see the Bulls on national TV. They want to see them on Thanksgiving Day. They want to see them on Christmas Day. They want to see them on New Year's Day when they're good. And Derrick Rose was that guy. Derrick Rose was that guy. And the excitement that he brought back to Chicago basketball is unparalleled. You know, you had so many kids just idolizing this guy, a guy who walked the streets that they walked. If you're from the city, from the inner city, South Side. You know, if you saw I'll get Steve to do it maybe the other for Friday. But if you saw the KG podcast where him and Paul Pierce are talking, and KG was just like, beside me, he goes, although D Rose was quiet, he spoke that language. He spoke that language. And there's a language, and it had nothing to do with verbally. All right. When he said that language, he spoke that language, it was the way he played. Like you could tell Derrick Rose was fearless. Fearless. KG also said, he goes, D Rose actually felt like he could beat our Celtic team by himself. He was just that series was insane. If you recall, 7 games, 4 or 5 of them went to overtime. That series, and KG was just like, man. He goes, and he said he felt helpless. KG said he felt helpless because he was hurt. He said, but he said he was giving it to Rondo. And the Bulls rightfully should retire his number. They should. What he did for that franchise. Shit, how many Chicago Bulls 1 jerseys are still walking around? Still walking around. This kid was it, man. He was it. One of the most humble kids you'll ever meet. Youngest MVP in the history of the National Basketball Association. And Black Diamond, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. You're right. He was a silent killer. He didn't talk shit. He didn't get in people's faces. He didn't do all that extra stuff. All he did was ball. But that's the question, Black Diamond. You said get that man in the Hall of Fame. Is Derrick Rose a Hall of Famer? That's a tough one. you know, I was producing the Smoke Fellas podcast on Saturday morning. Make sure you guys should check that out. You would like it. Jay Grizz checks in. Black Diamond, Shorty, Shawn, check out the Smoke Fellows podcast on Saturdays. And one of the guys, DY, the resident DJ, he said, if you look at his numbers for a career, there were only 3 seasons where he averaged over 20 points. Okay. Other than that, his numbers were on par with Kendall Gill. And no disrespect to Kendall Gill, he's a friend of the program. One of I don't remember who it was. One of the guys said, well, just based on the fact of him being the youngest MVP in the history of the NBA, that alone should get him in. And I don't know if I agree with that. Because one of the guys brought this point up, but I was well aware of this point, even though they brought it up, that every single MVP in the history of the NBA has gone to the Hall of Fame. Every single one. Every single MVP in the history of the NBA is in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Cornelia says, as much as I love Derrick Rose, he's not a Hall of Famer. Mr. Shorty agrees. Says, I agree, Cornelius. Yeah, I have a tough time putting him in there myself. I mean, had he been able to stay healthy, man, who knows what. But I mean, and one of the things that the Smoke Fellas did, they had a little poll. Who would have had the better career? It was Derrick, if had they stayed healthy. It was Derrick Rose, Penny Hardaway, Brandon Roy, or Grant Hill. Did I say that already? Derrick Rose, Penny Hardaway, Brandon Roy, and Grant Hill. Who would have had the best career? Because let's be honest, Grant Hill was that dude. When he first started playing, when he got drafted by the Pistons, Grant Hill was giving Scotty the flux. Mike didn't even want to guard that Mother Hubbard. Grant Hill was, and then let's not forget Penny. Man, Penny, boom, boom. He was very bouncy, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But I digress. The Bulls, January 4th, are going to honor Derrick Rose at the United Center. I would love to be in a building for that game. That would be amazing. Mr. Shorty with another take. Mr. Shorty says, I also do not think his number should be retired. Retire Pippins over Rose's. Yeah, well, Pippins is going to be overshadowed because he was Robin. He was Robin the Jordan's Batman. Derrick Rose was Batman. All right, Derrick Rose was Superman. Okay. See, Scotty was the second fiddle. He played second chair. I hear you. I hear you, Shorty. I do. And I get it. Off the Dub says, is there 6 rings here without Pippen? Hell no. Hell no. No. There aren't 6 rings here without Pippen. Nope. Oh, Mr. Shorty said he's checked the Smoke Fellas. He love those dudes. I'm telling you, The reason, check out the Smoke Fellas. It's like you're in a barbershop, like you're just talking ish with your boys. Great, great show. Make sure you check it out every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So the debate will continue. Scottie Pippen's jersey or still rolls over Scottie Pippen? Yeah. It's tough, man. Let's put it to you this way. Shit, you can't. Because Scottie took him to the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in '94. And if it wasn't for that bullshit call by Hugh Hollins on Hubert Davis, on Pippen following Hubert Davis for 3 points, Bulls would have won and gone to the finals again. If it wasn't for that bullshit call. So I can't even say Scottie didn't lead him to the Eastern Conference Finals because he did. But here's the thing. Pippen was nowhere near. People are here. There's a couple reasons people are deifying Derrick Rose. One, he's from Chicago, hands down. That's one of the biggest reasons. Kid in his hometown doing his thing. But two, we were so starved. We were so starved as a basketball city. We were starved. And not only do we get the number one player in the country, number one overall pick, consensus number one pick was Derrick Rose, but he's from Chicago. And the things that we saw him do were the things that we were hoping that he would do at this level. We saw him in college. If you're in Chicago, you got to see him in high school. You saw the greatness of Derrick Rose in high school. If you could hit a few free throws, Memphis would have won a national championship, but that's neither here nor there. All you had to do was hit one of those free throws at the end of the game, and Memphis wins the national championship. But I digress. I think Scottie's number should be retired. I think it will be, but I think it'd be after Derrick Rose. But what I was saying is the excitement. It was Chicago's very own. He brought this basketball city to life because it was dead. Who do we have? Ron Mercer? We had like Ron Mercer. Come on, dude. Don Salmons. These are the people we had after, Eddie Curry, Elton Brand. And Elton Brand was solid, 20 and 10. Just wasn't exciting. D Rose was exciting. D Rose, was exciting. And not just the Chicagoans, everybody. Everybody. I think that's why there's so much to do about D Rose over Scottie Pippen. Off the dub. That was great. He says, ooh, when Scottie Pippen took Ewing's head off and then told Spike to shut the fuck up. he said, sit your ass down. Or sit your ass and sit the fuck down. Off the dub, that was dope. And remember when the All-Star game was here a couple of years ago and they had the artwork of Pippen dunking over Ewing. They had the shoe. It was the way they had it was hanging. Remember that? If you saw the artwork, it was. Let me see if they have. Let's see if they have it. Dunking on Ewing. No. What would I put? Ewing GIF poster. Artwork. Come on, no. Oh, I was trying to find it and put it up. They have pictures of it. That's dope. But I'm talking here in Chicago. They had the jerseys. They had the shoes, and they were it was hanging. Yes, I found it. I'll bring it up on the other side of the break. Let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk some Bears. We're going to finish up with Scotty. Oh, man. Dude, that was nuts, though. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Seconds left, second down for Williams. Pressure was coming, and he got it to DeAndre Swift. Oh, this looks like what he did in the preseason. Swift to the sideline and out of bounds. 27-yarder to Swift. Williams gets hit by Verse, stays up, on the move.
Got him.
And he connects with Swift, who dives ahead near the sticks. They'll mark him out of bounds. seconds to stop the Cairo Santos missed his first field goal of the season last week from 56. Otherwise, he's been excellent. And that continues.
Continue with the field goal fest.
Yeah. Pressure coming. Stafford got rid of it fast. Faster than he wanted to. Incomplete. It's 4th and goal.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those are good guys. Our Bears this past weekend. So we were talking about the Bulls and the retirement of Derrick Rose's jersey. People were saying, what about Scotty? Then we got to talking about Scotty, and off the dub talked about his dunk on Ewing. And a couple of years ago, when the All-Star game was back in Chicago, they had this at Navy Pier. That was dope. That was dope. That's Ewing's wristband. That you see the Ewing's knee brace and his foot between, like Scotty straddling that knee because he's about to dunk on him. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. That is awesome. What else? That's dope. That was dope. I saw that. I'm like, oh, NBA throwing shade. But they know, here's the thing. Know your audience. Know your audience. And you knew that you're in Chicago. You knew that would be popular as all get out. And it was. Let's finish up one more top of the morning topic before we move on to our Bears. Yesterday, a new sports channel was launched. Chicago Sports Network began its operation yesterday. This is the new home of the Sox, Bulls, and Blackhawks. You see some new faces and many familiar faces. All right. Ozzy and Chuck will be over here doing Sox pre and post game. Jason and Kendall will be over here doing pre and post game for the Bulls. And yesterday there was also a Blackhawk game, so Patrick Doyle was on there, and Chris Chelios' daughter, I can't remember her first name. She was doing the pregame as well for the Blackhawks. So, like I said, some new faces, but many old faces, many familiar faces in there. And I have AT&T Uverse, so it's on the same channel there as it was that NBC Sports Chicago was. I hope they updated it because yesterday in the guide, and you go and it has the channel, the TV guide, it said no info, and I actually had to click on the channel that NBC Sports Chicago was, and it was playing, and it was weird, but yeah. People are talking about, obviously the conversation about Caleb is never ending. Okay. And again, guys, you know that Justin was my guy. Okay. But it doesn't stop me from giving you a clinical assessment of Caleb. Okay. I think Caleb is doing well. I think he's probably right where he should be. I think there's a hell of a lot of room for improvement. I think we've seen some flashes of him being a great quarterback. Okay. The only issue is the situation with the offensive line. If you're able to give him time, he can do some good things. I feel that Caleb was rushing a lot. I think Caleb was pressing. I think he wanted to make a big play. I also think Caleb has learned. One, don't try and make the big play. You're not ready yet. Two, the speed of the game. You can't be trying to outrun these defensive linemen. They're quicker than you saw in college, bigger, stronger, faster. All right? Get the ball out, live to play another down. We've all seen him make some really, really, really great throws. We've seen him miss quite a few throws. Okay? We've seen him miss quite a few throws. The one thing that I will say is this. I love the fact that when he missed a few throws, he missed DJ on that one where DJ took an inside release and it looked like he slowed down because DJ took a total accountability for on Monday. He went over to DJ and Keenan Allen, sat him down, and had a conversation. That's leadership. That's leadership. A rookie sitting down two veterans, one probable Hall of Famer in Keenan Allen, sitting them down and saying, hey, here's what we're going to, let's do this. Let's get on the same page. That's leadership. So sky's the limit for Caleb. All right. But then again, that's never been in question. Okay. One of the things that we're not seeing, and I think a lot of it has to do with the offensive line, is throwing the ball deep. We're not pushing down the field. We're not the vertical. We're not stretching. But you can't expect that. I'll tell you what, DJ Moore is frustrated. If you ask me, in my opinion, he's frustrated because you're not throwing the ball downfield to him. But you can't throw the ball downfield. You don't want that to be the premise of your passing game when you have no run game. See, last year, Justin Fields threw the ball downfield. He pushed it downfield, but they also, last 2 years of Justin Stinn here, they also were pretty high up and they led the league in rushing. So you had to be aware of Justin taking off, of Khalil Herbert. 2 years ago, David Montgomery. Okay, you had to be aware of that. Now teams aren't really worried about our run game, so there's no way that you're gonna have as many opportunities down the field as you had in the previous 2 years. And it's killing DJ Moore. It's killing him. He's tired of these screens. He's tired of blocking. Which is my opinion, of course. I didn't talk to DJ. But I'll tell you what, it'll get much better next year. Or it could get better this year, depending on how soon this offensive line gels. Depending on how soon this offensive line starts making holes for these running backs. It depends on how soon this run game gets going and becomes a force in the league. Just get up to the middle of the pack is what we need. I'd like to get top 10, but Rome wasn't built in a day. But if you do that, then people will have to respect your run game, and there'll be a lot more opportunities for you to go deep, which is where DJ Moore thrives. You know, people are talking about Jaden Daniels, and rightfully so. Let's not get it twisted. All right, my guy, Coach T, we'll try and get him on next week. My guy, Coach T, said before the draft that Jaden Daniels was the most pro-ready quarterback coming out of this year. He said that. And you're seeing it now. He's got a really good offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury. He's got good receivers. And they're asking him to do stuff that he's good at, and they're not asking him to do stuff that he's not good at. Crazy idea, huh? Crazy idea. In other words, he's being put in a position to be successful. Off the Dub says, that's my QB. Growing pains will pass. Yeah, they will. They will. Mr. Shorty said, Caleb is starting to settle in. I'm starting to get worried about the rest of the NFC North, though, as you should be. As you should be. As you should be. Minnesota's no joke. Detroit is no joke. Detroit's the defending champions. Of course, they're not. They're no joke. Minnesota's undefeated, and Green Bay is looking strong. Cornelia says Caleb looks like a field general already. Tell that to Jane Daniels salad tossers. Shorty, stop being so. Maybe it's the Italian in you, bro. You're just too fired up. Jane Daniels is good. You can't deny it. You can't overlook it. Just because Caleb's your guy, don't be so blind to the fact that you can't express or acknowledge the talent and the productivity of somebody else. All right. And Jaden Daniels, salad tossers, as you call them, have every right to talk all the shit that they want because he's playing well. His efficiency is there. All right, we all saw the last touchdown to Terry McLaurin. That was unbelievable. It's like he just dropped it right in the. No other place could he have put that ball. With the DB all over Terry McLaurin. So let's stop comparing. All right, comparing is the thief of joy. All right, be happy for those other guys. They're in a better situation, or I don't even want to say better. They're in their own situation. They're in their own situation. So let's not worry about that. This situation is the one that Caleb's supposed to be in, and he's here. Now you want him to be. See, the problem comes when everyone's talking all that shit. That's the problem. Everybody talked all that shit. Said Caleb is this. Caleb is, second coming of Jesus walking on water. And then he's having his struggles. You were talking as if he's going to come in and be a Hall of Famer immediately. Okay. The hype was crazy. The hype for Caleb was crazy. And it had to do a lot with the Caleb cult. And everyone was talking about he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. I'm not saying he won't be. I'm not saying that at all. He's shown some really, really marked improvement. Now it's got to continue. That's it. It's got to continue to improve. I talked about it the other day. The one thing that I really liked was his ability to hit the check down. All right. Sometimes you're not going to be able to throw for 300 yards. It's just not there. You got to take what the defense gives you. Sometimes they have a better day than you. It happens. They're professionals. They get paid millions of dollars as well. Defensive coordinators get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to stop young quarterbacks like Caleb. So let's not just because Caleb has a bad game or doesn't hit 300 yards, it's not all his fault. There's other people on the other side of the ball, the other team, that get paid as well. Hence competition. Black Diamond says, hey, Shawn, Jaden's my boy, but want to see him against our defense. That will tell me if he's really NFL like that. I hear you, bro. I hear you. When you get pressure from the middle, Gervon Dexter, three sacks in 4 games. If this progresses, he's going to have double-digit sack, 12 sacks. Isn't that what we wanted? Isn't that what we wanted? Didn't we say if Gervon Dexter takes a step forward, this defense will be dominant? Well, guess what? Gervon Dexter is stepping forward, and this defense is dominant. I agree with you, though, Black Diamond. I'd love to see Jaden Daniels with the reels. But here's the thing, Black Diamond. And here's why I was so happy for this part of the construction of the schedule for the Bears. There aren't a lot of great defenses that we play early. They're not. This should be the time that Caleb gets on the same page with Shane Waldron. Caleb gets on the same page with DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen. Thank God he's back. And Roma Dunze. Get this offense humming. Because what you talked about, Black Diamond, you want to see him against a real defense, which intimates that the defenses he's faced haven't been very strong, and they're not. But what has that done, though, Black Diamond? All his success to this point. You know what it's done? It's given him confidence. It's given him confidence. And that's the worst thing you can do to a player in any sport. Hell, a person in life is give them confidence. Because when they compete, they'll be able to compete at a level that you or they probably didn't think that they could compete because of their confidence. Shorty, you're a damn fool. It says polls will solve the offensive line this offseason. You just have to get through this year with a Super Bowl win. Black Diamond says, starting this Sunday, we should get our groove back. I think we got our groove back last week. I think we got our groove back last week, Black Diamond. And here's why. You've seen Caleb go deep. Okay? You've seen Caleb hit the... Now you've seen Caleb hit the check down. When there's not a level that he's... You know, they talk about take the layups. Those are layups. Those are layups in the NFL game. When that defense has the right coverage, or they just got you guys blanketed, hit the check down or throw it out of bounds. But he's done a great job of hitting the check down. He's done a great job of finding his tight end. And as I said on Monday, if he combines his 300-yard game with hitting the check downs, watch out. I said most of the points the Bears defense has given up are from field goals. Yeah. Except the Indy game where they were just tired. They were on the field too long. That's it. Oh, you mean so Black Diamond says, I meant Caleb and DJ about getting their groove back. Okay. That'd be phenomenal. I'll tell you what. DJ's frustrated. I feel DJ's frustrated. Again, I haven't talked to him, but I feel he's frustrated. You know, I had 1,300 yards, 4 games without my number one quarterback. I still had 1,300 yards. He averaged about 50 yards a game those 4 games that Tyson Bagent started. He averaged about 50 yards a game in those 4. Imagine if that was 70 or closer to 80. Yeah, his body language does say it all, Black Diamond. He does, and he's got to do a better job. And he admitted he's got to do a better job of that because you could tell he's frustrated. He won't come out publicly. He's not that type of dude. He did come up with a good response though. He's like, I'm just frustrated that we're not rolled. Basically, we're not as efficient and we're not clicking the offense. He said it wasn't just me. He goes, I was I'm frustrated that the offense isn't clicking the way we wanted it to be. It's like, okay. Wink, wink. Right, we got you. More like Shane Waldron on the same page with Caleb. Yeah, but let's talk about that. I agree. But listen, there are a couple things that if you take that, if Keenan Allen catches that first touchdown pass week 1, this is a different story. That's by Caleb, literally right through the hands of Keenan Allen, who's across the goal line. He catches it, drags his second foot as he goes out of bounds, the side of the end zone, touchdown. There's another drop touchdown week 2. So things are there. Things are there. We have the talent there. We have the coaching there. And remember I told you, give me 4 weeks. Well, we're at 4 weeks, and Shane Waldron has adjusted each time. Black Diamond, let's see. Black Diamond says, let's see if Waldron can build off this past Sunday because I've seen OCs regress instead of progress. But what you see from Shane Waldron is progress every week. All right. He's progressed every week. He's adjusted every week. So he had Caleb drop back 52 times the week before because we needed it. And this time he said, okay, we don't really need it that much. And he pivoted. I'm okay with Waldron. I'm not ready to go get off my lawn, Shawn, on him. I think he bought himself a stay of execution. With his play calling last week. Yeah. See, Shorty, but you're still putting the cart in front of the horse. Shorty says, Caleb can do such special things. Waldron needs to start letting the offense design some of their own plays now. Yeah, but you also have to make sure that you protect. Protect. That's the thing. Protection has to be key. If you can get them protected, then sure, you could draw all these crazy things that you want. Excuse me. If you protect. And that seems to be the issue, protection. You know, you look at Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones having a very difficult time with the bull rush again. He had a difficult time with Jared Verse. That's the kind of edge rusher I want us to get next year. That's the kind of edge rusher I want. That's the kind that I want. But I'll tell you what, I'd pass up an edge rusher like that if we can get a stud offensive lineman, a stud center. Because we have to protect this young man. We have to protect this young man. Because if you give him time, he can make things happen. Get his feet together, get his feet set underneath him, deliver the ball the way it needs to be delivered, whether it's a fastball or a humpback line drive or putting air under it. Either way, he can do that. But you got to protect him. You got to give him the time. There's also talk about possibly trading Khalil Herbert for an offensive lineman. I think with one of the Jets offensive linemen. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm really disappointed in Tevin. I really thought Tevin would be a lot better, a lot more consistent, seeing this is a contract year for him. See, he did just have a child in the offseason. I really thought he would be a lot more dominant than he is. Joseph Archer, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. He says, beef up the line. I agree. You got to get him protection. All right. I told you on Monday, why not give Doug Kramer a shot at fullback? I mean, at fullback. He was at fullback. Why don't you give Doug Kramer a shot at center? You said Caleb plays the entire season. He'll be the first Bears quarterback to do so since. So it wasn't Justin. Wasn't Mitch. Kyle Orton. I don't think we should trade for a free agent lineman. I think you need to draft and develop him. Or if you do get one. But look what it's got you now. You had Nate Davis. But Nate Davis, you also knew. You also knew what you were getting. You still signed him. So that's on you, Poles. That's on you. Joseph, what do you mean? Joseph says, what's wrong with Doug? Do you know Doug Kramer? The center? Is that who you're asking, Joseph? Design the plays around sheet of protection. So you're saying move the pocket, roll the pocket. That's what you're saying, Mr. Shorty? Because that can be done. That really hasn't been done. That hasn't been done at all. Move the pocket, roll it around, cut the field in half, have levels, short, intermediate, deep. And Caleb get to the outside to stress the defense. I get it. Yeah. Why Shane hasn't done that, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's what would need to be done as well. I would really like to see that. I'd really like to see that. You know, there's so many moving parts. Okay. And you got to understand, people stop looking at Jaden Daniels. That should be our year. That should be this. That should be. It's not. All right. One, it's not what's happening over here. Two, it's not what should be happening over here. What should be happening is happening. All right. Give me a kid who's going to have adversity and figure it out. Give me a quarterback who's going to go through rookie adversity, figure it out, and be better on the other end for it. Because Jaden Daniels got to hit some adversity sometime soon. And let's see how many people are on him at that particular point. Because you're gonna have other people. Oh, I knew it. Caleb's better. You know how they're gonna be. But let's stop trying to compare what someone else has and just worry about what we have. Be happy. What did we talk about? What did I talk about last week or on Monday, last show? It's all about perspective. You can be happy for what we have. You don't have to be jealous or hate what someone else has. You know, be happy in the improvements that you've seen from Caleb Williams. Be happy. All right. This is one of the biggest things of improvement. I put it up yesterday or Monday. Clay Harbor. Caleb Williams completed just 44% of his passes versus a blitz in the first 3 weeks of the season. Today, which was on Sunday, He was 8 of 9 for 75 yards and a touchdown versus the blitz. This kid is progressing fast. Focus on that. Focus on a great throw to DJ Moore. Focus on him hitting the outlets, the running back, the dump offs, the tight end, the safety valve. Focus on. Remember what I told you? I said I want this short game down pat. I still want to see more slants. I still want to see more hitches. Still want to see more crossing routes. If you can set that short game on automatic, where you know you're going to get it, that's going to open up everything else. It's going to open up everything else. But this got to be done. The short game's got to become second nature. Joseph Archer says, yeah, Shawn, I was talking about Doug Kramer. Why isn't he playing center? That's a great question. We need to ask Chris Morgan that one. I don't know why he's not playing. You're funny. Mr. Shorty says, someone needs to remind Waldo, he means Shane Waldron, that Khalil Herbert is a great change of pace back. Yeah, and he's a good running back, too. Let's not get it twisted. He's a good running back. Yeah, and believe me, Kramer can't be worse than Shelton. Can't be worse than Shelton, that's for sure. But here's what happens. When you get a guy like that, why do you think Kramer did so well? He's finally able to run and hit somebody. And he's got a head start. This offensive line needs help. If we can figure this out, watch out. If you're going to continue with Shelton, I'm telling you, you keep Kramer at fullback. Keep Kramer at fullback because it set the tone. Remember I've said it plenty of times. If you've watched my show, you know how I feel. Set the tone. Down, down, kick. You could listen, you have a 310-pound guard center with a head start. No linebacker is going to be able to deal with that just off of physics alone. You could be you're starting at the same spot. You meet at a spot. He's 60 pounds heavier than you. Guess what? You're probably going to lose. Despite your strength and your speed and your explosion, you're probably going to lose on mass alone because he's bigger. Keep that combination in there. Keep center or Kramer at fullback if you don't start. Give him a shot at center, and keep Roschon Johnson in as a running back on short yardage downs. If they know it's coming, too freaking bad. Too bad. All right. I wonder if he's going to continue to go under the center. I really hope he does. I think it's a great idea. The mesh point, it helps confuse the defense with his back turned to the defense. I love it. Sure says, thank you, Clay. I know, Caleb's your guy, Shorty. I know. But this is what needs to be done. Okay? And I think in this game, we'll talk a little bit more about it on Friday. But I think in this game, you need to come out and you need to beat the dog shit out of them. I think we need a Mike Tyson in the late 80s type of start. But that, I mean, we need to come out and just, I was going to say something. I'm like, no, that's not. I think we need to come out and just start punching them in the face with big blows and big blows and after big blows. I think we should not take our foot off the gas until we're up 35 points. Because if this team even comes close to staying with us or winning, it'll be an embarrassment. Carolina is god awful. Carolina is god awful. So you have a shitty team. They should not have 1 ounce of hope after the first quarter. None. This is where, as a coach, you're the biggest prick in the world during practice this week. Nothing is right. Nothing is good enough. Nothing. Attention to detail. Because let's not forget, Carolina, they got professional players on their side, on their team too. They got pro athletes, they got millionaires, they got studs in their team too. Let's not forget that. But if you respect your opponent, you put in the work to make sure that they don't get the best of you. This is where coaching comes in. Getting your guys mentally ready. This team is not as good as us. We need to go out there and show it. And the only way to go out to show it is to master the fundamentals this week. Master them. Head placement, hand placement, all that has got to be perfect. If all that's perfect, we will blow this team out. And if we don't blow this team out, I'm gonna be disappointed. That's exactly how is to go at this. And just be on these guys. Just be on them. Be on these guys. Nothing's perfect at practice. Nope, I need this better. 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 When you start building those habits, guess what? That becomes your destiny. That becomes that becomes your resume. How you practice your habits, your daily habits, determine how successful you'll be in football and in life. Your daily habits. So let's get this. Chris Morgan needs to do one hell of a coaching job. Matt Eberflus needs to do one hell of a coaching job. Shane Waldron needs to do one hell of a coaching job. Because this is a perfect game for the Bears to lose. Perfect game for them to lose. If your head's not up your ass. Or if your head's up your ass. Perfect game. So you come out early. You know how we vote in Chicago? We need to come out like we'd vote in Chicago, early and often. Early and often. I mean, we need to hit them with body blows and headshots. No quarter should be asked. No quarter should be taken. It's all about business. This is a great game for them to come out and methodically put up 35 points. I'll give you 28 points in the first half. Methodically. If you want to score 2 more the rest of the game, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But see, this is a situation that this earlier part of the schedule is allowing us to do, to practice, to really, we're good. But we got to get better. We got to get consistent. All right, Braxton Jones, you had an issue. I think it's a good weekend. I don't know who's coming off the corner. I know Brian Burns isn't there anymore, but who's coming off the corner for Carolina, off the edge? There's a good chance for you to get back in the swing of things. Darnell Wright, same thing for you too. You know, I want the chemistry to continue to build between DJ and Caleb. All right, on the inside route. If he hits DJ on the route where he had the inside release and it looks like DJ slowed down, if he gets him and that's another touchdown, that's beautiful. So that's the thing. Let's get efficient. Let's become very efficient. Let's become almost like a machine is what we need. The Bears need to become a machine. A machine. And the coaching staff needs to Mr. Shorty, damn it. You got me fired up today, Shawn. You know, here's a get-right game. You got two get-right games. Here's a get-right game. I used to love playing these games, hated coaching these games. Because for me, my mentality never changed. Maybe it was because of the way I was coached with Coach Quinn and Coach Schaller, God rest your souls. Never took anyone for granted. Never, ever, ever overlooked an opponent. I never disrespected them by not preparing for them in the usual way. As a matter of fact, I would usually I would prepare more for the bad teams because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be the issue. I wasn't going to be lackadaisical. I had no problem putting 50 or 60 points up on the board against teams that I'm supposed to put 50 or 60 points up on the board. And this team, and there are a lot of youngsters, some vets. Here's where the vets need to step in. Here's where Mercedes Lewis needs to step in. Here's where Tremaine Edmonds needs to step in. Like, hey, let's get focused. Okay, give them the respect they deserve. Prepare for them the way you prepare for anybody else. The way you prepare for the Super Bowl champion. The way you prepare for the Packers. The way you prepare for the division champion Lions. Give them that same respect. Give them that same respect. And believe me, you'll be able to come out of this with a convincing victory. This is what they need to do. Coach, this is on you, Coach. Get these boys down. Get these boys fired up. Get these boys ready to roll. Get these boys like a machine. We've all faced teams or been on teams that have been machines that never really got too high, too low. They just went about their business. Next thing you know, they're up 28 points at the end of the first half. Like, damn, dude. Like, they weren't that flashy. They weren't not a lot of big plays. But they just rolled out up and down the field. That's the mentality that he's got to get these guys to believe in. Man. Off the dub, Shawn, who gave the nickname to SuperBack. When I was in college, that was our position name. We ran the run and shoot. We ran the run and shoot. 4 receivers, 1 running back. And as a running back, you have to do everything. Not only did you have to run the ball, but you had to block. That was the most important thing. Come out of the backfield. All right, sometimes you had to take over protection calls. All right, so the position was called the SuperBack, and I just kept it. Hope that helped off the dub. But man, folks, 2 hours is come and gone. That's crazy. I'm glad I got Mr. Shorty fired up today because I was fired up. Because I see this team that the Bears are facing, and this is a team that they should annihilate. This is a team that they should really leave with their tail between their legs, limping. Bears should come in methodically, put up 28 points at the end of the first half. Give me 2 more at the end of the game, 42-0. Maybe a couple field goals by the other team, 42-6, 42-9. But this is the time. And not only does that give us a win, but what it does is it gets us more confidence. It gets this offense more confidence. Get this team more confidence. And that's what's important. We need Caleb to get some continuity and some confidence. Because when he gets confident, there's a lot of really, really good things that this young man can do. We'll be able to open up the playbook a little bit, attack downfield, where Caleb really, really, really thrives. I mean, DJ Moore, where he really, really thrives. Get him some deep ends, get him some posts, get him some corners, get him some go routes, get him. But we got to take care of that intermediate first, start to intermediate, but also that run game. And we got to protect Caleb. But man, 2 hours is come and gone, folks. I want to thank all my peoples in the chat. Man, this chat was jumping as always. I'm glad I got you fired up, Shorty. Cornelia Squall says I'm fired up too. Plank says, thank you, Shawn. Sports owners, bear down. Peace. Michelle Walls, Bears need a blowout win. Need a win a blowout game. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. It's going to give them confidence going across the pond. Then they come back to a bye. They're off. And then you got a good game. Number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks taken in the draft are going to meet. First overall pick and the second overall pick are going to meet. So this is set up really, really nicely. They can still finish 7-2 before they hit their conference schedule in week 11 with the Packers. 6 out of those last 8 games are against our division foes. Listen, guys, you have a great day. Enjoy it. It's going to be another cool one here in the Shy. A high of 72. All right, a high of 72. So make sure you nice little pullover weather, little hoodie weather. Enjoy it. What are you talking about? What college? You talking about me, Mr. Shorty? You're talking about me? I went to Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. Where, you know what? We're actually going to talk about the former Holy Cross Crusader who's making a big to do in Matt Sluka. UNLV, not UNILV. We'll talk about that on Friday. All right. Listen, for everybody here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn. See, have a phenomenal day. Your boy is out.